Hello, guys. Welcome back to my weekly Facebook Live show. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR, a full service, whatever you need. No, we don't. We niche down, but we are offering PR services. I hear my dog barking outside. I'm a little distracted, but social media services really only if you are part of our retainer clients because PR is our bread and butter. Social media is sort of like a value add. So we offer those services for baby and kids, beauty and cosmetics, and health and wellness brands. And I am also the founder of the Profitable PR Pros Community Generation Academy. Hi, Nelson. I love all my regulars that come and join us every single week. And I have my little, my Stevie Award just came. I'm an award-winning mentor. Gold Stevie Award for Women in Business for Mentor Coach of the Year, Marketing, PR, Social Media. It's so cute, right? It feels like an Oscar. It's like, I'd like to thank, hi, Allie and Nelson. I'd like to thank you for being part of our community. Anyway, my kids were not impressed. No one's impressed. So I think it's cute. Anyway, okay, so here we are. I hope everybody is doing well. Hi, Kelly. Yes, Gail, my birthday was really nice. I feel like with everything, oh, thanks, Nelson. Oh, thanks, Serena. Honestly, like with birthdays, thanks, Allie, I feel like I was in gratitude that day. Thank you, Kelly. I just was like, it was just a simple day. And honestly, like how lucky to just have a simple day, to just wake up, feel loved and I had a client call. I have a business I love, and I was like happy to be on my client calls. My husband took me for lunch, and it's just easy and comfortable. And I just felt, thank you, Gail. I felt just like grateful on my birthday. And I was sending a bunch of voice memos on Instagram. I was walking Lola, and I was just feeling really grateful for this community. And I reached out to a bunch of people just to thank them for showing up and for, people that haven't already heard from me a million times. I think maybe Allie heard from me that day. But just to thank them for being a part of this community because I just feel so flippin' grateful. I can't even tell you. And I have something big that I'm working on. I've mentioned it. I can't talk about it yet, but hopefully soon. And we are at the next sort of phase of that. And thanks, Allie. So I'm at the next phase of it, which I'm really excited about. And not to be all like coy or whatever, but it's something that I think will allow us to reach more people, to offer more value. That's always the goal is just, oh, thanks, Chrissy. Yeah, it's totally different and new and outside the realm of anything that I thought would be happening right now. But I do think that it's something that is going to help us grow, reach more people, offer more value. That's the goal. And like we have a vision for growing this business and creating even more value and opportunity and support for our community. We'd obviously love to grow the community, and hopefully this next phase will help us do that. But I'm excited to share that. And it was actually the next sort of phase was completed on my birthday. So it was almost like a birthday present for me, which I'll share with you. But I'm excited to share that whenever I can, working on the finer details. But I promised to chat about media relations, connecting with journalists and editors. So many of you actually are in the pitch lab. We had Tony Boylan come and do like a masterclass, kind of a Q&A. Hi. The poor cat, he's just 18 years old. He just wants to live out his sunset years in peace. And this dog just barks right in his face. But I think he's hearing, I think he's like almost totally deaf. So maybe he can't hear the dog like Can you hear me? Uh, okay, move along. Anyway, so Tony came in and chatted with Profitable PR Pros, which was the Pitch Lab paid members. It was a masterclass in our community. He really shed some light on being a former journalist and moving to the other side and leveraging his almost 15 years as a media gatekeeper to support his clients, and then sharing a lot of that insight with us, and still having connections to his media pals, and sharing what they're saying is kind of the state of the media, how to break through to them right now. So that was really, really good. And this is sort of an extension of that topic. It's about earning the respect and the attention of journalists and editors. We know how important that is. These relationships that we work so hard to build really matter. It's a huge help in building your business, landing great features for your clients, being successful in what you're doing. And this is why, again, every single thing I'm going to tell you is niche down, because then the world of media contacts that you actually have to work to build relationships with, that becomes more narrow, and it's a lot easier to manage, right? It's like, you can sort of narrow in on 15, 20, 25. Okay, I had notes and they just literally disappeared, but that's totally my fault. Okay, there we go. And then you can sort of work to build relationships, and niching down is just the best approach to be able to everything build, charge more, create better relationships, convert your pitches, because you actually know what is going on in your niches, because you're dialed in and you're an expert. And half the time it's you making the news. It's you creating those story angles because you're so dialed into those areas and those media outlets that you want to connect with. So, relationships matter. It also matters that you don't allow your clients to sour your relationships, because that happens a lot too. I can't tell you how many times I've kind of sided with journalists and kind of slapped a client on the hand for their bad behavior, because the client may be gone at some point, but that relationship is going to be of value to me and my business ongoing. So if clients miss interviews, or they're difficult, or they're asking us to change things that we know the media is going to say, I'm not changing that, or I'm not adding you to this story, we will say to the client, no, we can't do that, because we don't want to interfere with our relationships on their behalf if we know it's a losing proposition. So we guard those relationships very closely. So we want to help you create these relationships where you are known to the media as worthwhile to talk to, you're trustworthy, your pitches are on point. Christina's saying, I'm known by local news outlets for sending food prior to a major storm. You sent food to the news outlets to get their attention and share the love and help them out. I'm assuming that's a really good strategy. I would send 6-foot subs and chips and soda. So they're reporting nonstop, and that's really nice. That's great. Inexpensive, I'm sure, like under $100 to, create those relationships. Very savvy. And we're going to talk about some of those ways similar to that here. I know there are a lot of shady publicists, not in our community, but sometimes this shift is happening and we're seeing these like really super shady PR professionals. It always cracks me up when they reach out to me, like in my DMs on Instagram, like, hey, do you know that the media will help you establish your authority and expertise? We will get you a feature on Forbes and you only pay if we land it. Convert your features in 2 weeks or 1 week. And I'm like, I wrote back, LOL, like, look at who I am. I'm like running a PR firm. You're trying to tell me I don't know what PR is. And also, by the way, you're offering pay to play. Shady, shady, shady. So none of you guys are like that. We want to be proactive and be the kinds of PR pros that are seen as reliable sources getting Chrissy gets those too. Yeah, it's just you're like, what? Look at my bio. Like, it's either my computer, Facebook. Am I freezing for anyone else? Tell me. It's very windy here. Somebody else, let me know if I'm freezing or if it's just on Nelson's end, because I don't like that. Because I can maybe try to hardwire and come back. Anyway, we want to shift the narrative and hate that. Okay, no, not me, not me. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, well, just keep going. I'll just keep going. Hi, Christina, Tiffany, thank you. Sarah, Pat. Okay, thanks for being here. Okay, we're shifting the narrative. We're, keeping PR pros in journalists' eyes as useful, worthwhile sources. They want to talk to us because we're helping them. It's not like, oh, another PR pitch again. Oh, that's annoying. If you're giving them good information, they want to hear from you. So I want to give you some do's and some don'ts, that will help you earn the respect of journalists and editors. I'm petting my cat right here, just off camera. Just being shy. And for you seasoned pros that are here, always a good reminder. You'll be like, oh yeah, I should do that again. And if you're just getting started and you're like, I don't have contacts, I didn't either. I didn't. I was an attorney. I had no media relationships when I started. And I realized that offering them great information, being helpful, all of those things that we're going to get into really helped me to build my relationships and build my business over the years. So if you're just getting started, these are really good, like foundational things to know. So the first do, always approach your pitching from the perspective of being a helper to them. Sorry, you're an attorney too. Are you also doing PR? Oh, Christine, I love that. We'll talk about that. She says, I invite a new reporter in town to lunch or to grab a beer. That's awesome. Sarah, I was a civil litigation attorney at a big firm in LA. Did not suit me very well. And I hopped around a little bit in the end, but I practiced for almost 4 years before I did this. And I still pay for my bar dues forever. Those jerks have me on the hook because I'm always going to just keep my bar status. I'm inactive because I don't want to do continuing legal education because it's expensive and time consuming, blah, blah, blah. But I pay for inactive status and I will forever just because, like, why not? But I'd love to hear where are you and what kind of law do you practice or did you practice? You're going to pitch the media and approach them with the mindset of being a helper, with a mindset of offering something of value to them. How can you help make their job easier? So simple. That's the mindset that you go into these relationships with. What can I do here to make this person's job easier, their life easier? If you see that a journalist is working on a story, even if it is not a good fit for your clients, help them find a source. If you know someone in your network that would be a good, relevant fit, and it's like the perfect thing, even if it's not a close connection, I'll refer people all the time for like these really niche things. Like I have a contact, actually a friend's ex-wife from law school, and she is a divorce coach. There's a lot of pitches out there for experts that help coach women or couples through divorce. And so I like just introduce the journalist to her all the time because it's a very niche thing, right? That is exactly how my good buddy Peter Schenkman started Harrow. It is connecting the journalists to the sources, even if they're not your clients. How can you help make their story go faster or make their life easier by helping them find this like niche expert or somebody uniquely qualified to address the topic they want to write on? And then you're so clutch to them. It's like, yeah, you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. And also those connections, it's just like it's a mitzvah, it's a good energy, it's a good deed. So it's not like anyone owes you anything. It's just like, I want to be a helpful person. So make their lives easier. Think of your network, make those connections. Ooh, I just got this awful message from my computer. Your disk is almost full. Got to start deleting some video. Oh my God, that's so annoying. And Asara says, looking to start out and just landed a volunteer PR opportunity, and I'm in corporate M&A at a large New York firm. Can't wait to hear your tips and learn from you. Asara, I did a podcast called Lawyers Escape Pod. Look it up. And it just talking about the transition and even talking about some PR tips and strategies and whatnot. And I feel like for me, it was one of my most favorite interviews that I've ever done, or the most favorite chats that I've ever had, because Megan on the other end was obviously in the know of law and, the nuances of the different types of firms and the different types of, kinds of work that you do. And it was just a very informed, good conversation. I think you would find it useful. So yeah, go there. Lawyers Escape Pod. And if you search my name, I think it was like 6 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. Okay. Don't pitch clients just to pitch them. So only pitch your client when the story or the idea that you are putting forward is a match for either the topic they write for, the editor and what they cover, the specific outlet, the vertical within the outlet. If your client's like, I want to be on Business Insider, not every writer for Business Insider is covering all of the topics. They have specific beats or verticals or whatever that they work on. Sorry. My younger son has this thing called misophonia. Do any of you have it? Where anything crunching, chewing, slurping drives him insane. Now he's 10. Hi, are you in? Whoa. Hi. So anytime I just shoot sound. That's exactly right, Tiffany. Either you have it or you know someone who does. Hi, what's the meaning of this? What's happening? So he cannot stand chewing, and I just chomped a piece of ice, and then I was instantly regretting it. Christina has it too. My husband does not believe that it's a thing, and I'm like, you better believe it's a thing. My mom has it. Hi, Claudia. You guys know my mom watches. She said she developed it later in life. Misophonia, that's exactly right. Yep, it's a real thing. And my son goes berserk in the first instant that he hears it, the first instance. So I just chomped a piece of ice, and then I got instantly regretted it. Okay, what we teach inside the Pitch Lab, and a lot of you on here actually in that program, it is all about the right story, the right time, the right journalist. It's timely, relevant, targeted pitches. So it's to that specific person with a specific angle that is the right fit for their specific topic they cover and that publication. It's not a spray and pray. It's not, wow, this is a great idea. I'm just going to get it out to as many people as possible and hope, it's like a numbers game. Doesn't work. And you will not, this is all about earning the respect of journalists. You will not earn any respect. And in fact, they can just put you on the spam list and they'll never see your pitches again. So only pitch your clients if it's a perfect match for what they're working on or what they typically work on. So then they will also know that you're aware of their content and that you're likely to be sending them things that are relevant. And they're more inclined to open your emails and read what you have to offer because they know you have your act together. Okay. Another do handle all of their requests immediately. So you never want to make a journalist or editor late for a deadline. Hold on. Here, come on, baby. So you guys see the Zoom style. I'm wearing my jammy pants on the bottom because I'm about to take her for a walk when I'm done. Now it's windy, so okay. Sorry. A little distracted with this dog who hasn't gone out yet today, or gone for her walk yet today. So one of the things that I think we do really well in our agency is we are immediately responsive. We always have every asset, every possible thing that we'll need to proactively pitch and be effective. We have it at the ready. We never, and I'm sure all of you guys are the same. It's like, I never want to be waiting on a client for something because that'll make me waiting on a journalist. So I'm sure to gather all of those assets ahead of time. We have all of that right out of the gate so that we can respond to a journalist immediately. And you don't want to be slowed down waiting for images or samples or whatever from the client, because you won't be able to get your contacts what they need right now. You want to be clutch. We talk about this a lot inside the pitch lab. We actually have some subject line ideas, but anything. It doesn't have to be. That's the big law. It doesn't have to be like this super witty thing that like perfectly summarizes the entire email to follow. It could just get their attention and get them to open it. That's all that matters. So it depends what you're pitching. Nelson, I'd love to hear from you if you could quickly do a search and give us like one or two subject lines that got major media outlets' attention. Something that, maybe it's a contact you knew, so the subject line is like really more personal. But if it's somebody sort of like at arm's length, not like a dear connection or dear friend, and you created a subject line that got them to open it, not totally like super witty and tongue in cheek and all that, just straightforward, simple, and just that's all it has to do is just get them to open the email. So, you want to show them like it's newsworthy and noteworthy right now. It's timely and relevant now. So Nelson, if you are able to do a little quick search on anything you might have sent that got their attention, they opened it and ultimately converted. And also, Gail, we have a winning pitch vault inside of our pitch lab. It's a bonus that we have members of the community submitting their winning pitches. So you can actually see, this is something I came up with because it was one of the number one things that people were asking me, is to see a pitch that converted. And I write pitches, or my team writes pitches for beauty, cosmetics, baby, kids, lifestyle, wellness, women's interest. So we extended it to everyone in the community. And now we have a vault of winning pitches on local, national, regional, TV, podcasts, newspapers, digital outlets, print magazines, so that there's a wide range. You can see the pitch, you can see the subject, you can read about the PR pro who actually secured that feature and see the back and forth. You see the story about the back and forth, and then you see the actual feature that they landed. Yeah, I would tailor. I wouldn't just include the press release headline, Gail. We don't always create a press release. I'd say 19 times out of 20, no press release. It's just a pitch. So, and I would tailor it somewhat, specifically so that that person knows you are pitching only to them. A headline might be really informative about the client and what they're up to, but not get them to see that you are pitching this specific thing just for them. Good question. Should I pitch my client to the journalist right away if they seem like a good fit, or should I start with a general networking email offering myself as a resource for them? I think it depends, Christina. I love the idea of more like an introductory, what are you working on? How can I help you? These are the types of clients that I work with, whatever. But if it's timely now and you need it now, I do like to foster that relationship a little bit before you actually need it. But if you have something that is like time sensitive and it's a now sort of situation, they might value that information and access to it with enough time to actually write a feature. Hi, baby. Oh, she just tipped over. That's a good sign. So try to build a relationship, but if you have to pitch, that's totally fine, as long as it's like really targeted to them. Pat says, I'm successful pitching regional media, but having trouble with the national media and the biotech space. No response to emails. I don't want to call them since I don't have a relationship with them yet. Keep at it. Try to find other contacts at those outlets. Try to find maybe freelancers that are writing in the biotech space. I think because it's so technical, it's challenging unless it's like speaking their language. And I would imagine if that's your niche, Pat, that you understand how to break it down in a way that would get their attention and not be too technical. Don't use too much jargon. I think that's a risk, I think, with biotech, tech, innovative, like everything's innovative. So it's like how we talked about this in the pitch lab. It's like the kinds of things you want to avoid. It's like meaningless words at this point, like innovative or breakthrough. It's like it's jargon and it's not really helpful. So, avoid that. Nelson shared a headline. This is the one that got the attention of Clean Tech Magazine for a mining company that is a client of mine. MineWorks uses clean tech innovations and revolutionizes the extraction of palladium and platinum using diesel catalytic converter recycling. Okay, maybe a little, he got a full page story in the magazine. I think to that niche, there's something there. It's all, to me, it's just like words, and I don't know, that seems really technical, but it's just a matter of fact, and it's very informative, and I guess there's something interesting about it that got them to open it. I don't know, Nelson, it's not my jam at all, but obviously, game changing. Tiffany's niche is tech PR, awesome. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Gail, I'm trying to find. Normally use the headline. Okay, yeah, sorry, I already answered that. And then Asara says, do you think it's better to niche from the start? Oh, 100%. No, 100%. Asara, that's like so I have a little mini program, hi Naisha, super inexpensive, like no-brainer program. I'm going to just post it here. It's called Lead to Landed. And it is about getting your very first client. So it's for people who are really trying to find their path. Okay. So speaking of path, this is my kind of, what do we call this? The Profitable PR Pro Success Path. There's a little visual. It looks like Candyland. Okay. So look at this kind of visual we created, and it shows the programs that align with those different steps in your success path. And so Lead to Landed is on that page. I'll put it there. The page is a little dated, but the program is really good. And it's like, I don't even know, $50 or $100. I don't even know. I'll tell you, hold on. Whatever it is, it's worth it. And it's $47. It's so easy, no brainer. But that will help you niche down right away, figure out how to niche down. Asara, figure out how to bring in the right clients in your business. Really, really, really good. If you're just getting your start, it'll help you find clients. It'll help you figure out how to create like a lead gen system in your business. And then there's also a program I think it's called Media Magnet. That's a little quickie basics in how to do PR. But the real sort of like, if you want to hone your skills, you want to offer PR as a service, that's the Pitch Lab. And that program is like cannot be beat. It's so good. Buy all the programs. I have them all. Seriously, Naisha says, and Chrissy says, I concur. Yeah. My purpose here, everything that we have built is designed to teach you how to become an expert, teach you how to connect with the media, teach you how to convert, so you have a valuable skill that you can offer to clients. And then I teach you how to make money doing it. Like, I can't even say the name Profitable PR Pros in ads or any emails because it is considered spam because of the word profitable. It's like we're like get rich quick scheme, but obviously we are not that at all. My goal is to help you find ways to make more money, build a business you love. All of these things are designed to meet you no matter where you are. So Naisha's a very seasoned PR pro. Chrissy's getting into it and has done it for her, her daughters, and is now expanding, what she does for clients. And it's wherever you are, there is going to be something you learn, I promise, because I have been doing this 17 years. This month is 17 years of me running Generation. And every single month we do our content, I learn something. Like we put it together. I have a team. They help me. It's very, very, very good stuff. And it's all designed to help you just get on a path. What do I call it? Your success path, but designed to just make your life easier, make your success come faster. Because this stuff didn't exist when I started. And I always wish that I had something I could invest in. Because really you're just investing in yourself, right? Nelson had another headline, another one that is getting me a lot of press. New Gen MD brings futuristic Star Trek technology into the 21st century with its needle-free injection system. I'm watching The Dropout, Theranos, right now. And there's a funny part where they repurpose like a glue robot that becomes their like new technology that doesn't actually work. But clearly this does work. So very cool headline. I love that it's got a little Star Trek nerdy component to it. Nerdy in a good way, not in a bad way. Very good. I'm a nerd, love nerds. Married a nerd, we're all nerds. Anyway, okay. So you have all your stuff, and back to it with the do. Handle their requests right away. Be the clutch person that always meets the deadline. Do not be slowed down by trying to gather assets from clients. Let them know that you are just the easiest to work with. You're so easy to work with that you're never going to slow them down. You'll get them what they need when they need it, frictionless. And they will want to come back to you because you'll earn their respect for helping them meet a challenging deadline. And this is something we really focus on inside of the Pitch Lab. It's this beginning stages of gathering all of the assets you'll need from clients ahead of time. And that'll let you set yourself and your team up for success when you're working with media professionals, because you're going to be clutch and they're going to be like, oh, Kathy is awesome. Kathy crushes it. Chrissy always has everything everything we need. I'm going to go to her because she'll probably have someone. Kathy says, you mentioned not writing press releases, but pitching instead. Can you clarify? Yeah. So a press release is that sort of format of that, headline, contact info, the date, the city, and then the headline, the subheadline, the information you're sharing, quotes from CEOs, quotes from invested parties, and then boilerplate at the bottom, right? That's a press release format. Most of the time when we're pitching, because I pitch brands with physical products, I don't need a press release to talk about like a key ingredient, that ferulic acid is an active ingredient in skincare. I don't need a press release for that. So my pitches will be like, hi, Kathy, I know you recently wrote about retinol for blah, 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 and I wanted to call to your attention the efficacy of ferulic acid that also happens to be in my client's formulation. Can I send you a sample for consideration? And I also, it's more like, Kathy, I'm sending this to you. I know what you write about. here's an idea. This is, great in the fall. It's a fall pitch because it's going to help even out your sunspots from the summer or whatever, right? So that's a pitch that doesn't require a press release, but it is a strategic pitch targeted to a specific editor, for a timely thing that they should be considering right now. This is our approach inside the Pitch Lab. So I have a monthly membership called the Pitch Lab. It's so good. Like I can say that. I mean, it's really good, you guys. I love it. And we teach you an entire foundation on how to do PR. It's called the Roadmap. And then every month you get an execution plan. So we'll tell you like what pitch angles, long and short lead you should be focusing on. The last execution plan, I think, is like 54 pages. But it's all like holidays you should consider for social media content. It's this is what I was trying to say, editorial considerations from specific outlets. So like long lead, like September, House Beautiful is working on a gardening issue, something like that. And we'll put that in there. So, oh, my client has exotic seeds or something. I don't know, I'm making this up. And you can pitch it for the gardening issue. Now you'll know. And you can tell your client, oh, I happen to know that House Beautiful is having their annual gardening issue in August, because you see it inside your execution plans. And we have people that use them for building strategies. We have people that use them for their proposals, because you can just name drop magazines and media outlets all day long, and your clients will be like, she's so in the know. It's really good. And there's like a coaching call. It's a no-brainer to me. I look at it like if I was not creating it and my team wasn't creating it, I would have this as an ongoing investment in my business, full stop. I would just buy the annual, truthfully, because you get a media contacts database and you also save on 2 months. Wherever I can get bonuses and save by paying in full, I always do that. So it's like $970 a year and it just renews, but it's like, it's essential. And your team, it's essential for you and your team. So anyway, that's what I mean by that, Kathy, is strategic, targeted, timely, relevant pitches that don't always require a press release. Most of my things are not press release worthy. Do not write a press release unless it is like truly, truly newsworthy. An acquisition, a resignation and a new CEO, a very prestigious industry award, like a Stevie. Just kidding. Something that's like very newsworthy. Okay. So that's the do. Do handle all of their requests immediately. And the opposite of this is, don't make journalists wait long periods of time for responses, interviews, assets. Move things along. You'll start to see that all of these do's and don'ts are like the plus of what you should do and the opposite of like what you don't do. Okay. Oh God, sorry. This is so crazy because my client is doing my team is doing a photo shoot right now for social media assets for a client. I'm looking sideways, and it's cool because the photographer will let us real time give her feedback. So instead of setting up a shot, shooting it, breaking it down, and then the client goes, actually change these things. This is really cool. Our photographer just texts the team, and in real time, they're like, can I see what the riser looks like angled up against it? Is it possible to put this at the top? It looks like you're missing this piece. Did you receive it in your shipment? Like super, super cool. This is awesome. So it's like, I'm just getting the messages. That's why I keep looking. But this is like the team handling it and the client so happy and everyone's happy because the feedback and the changes are instant. So that's super cool. Nelson uses pitch points or bullet points. Yes, bullet points and a half-page email instead of a press release. Yes, 100%, or my kids would say hundo P. And Gail says having that editorial schedule is a major resource. It's so valuable. Natasha's not on right now. Normally she'd be my hype woman, but I do think that they are worth the price of the program. Just those resource guides. And Stephanie, yeah, they are really huge time savers. It's a huge time saver, but it's also like, let us do the hard work for you. Let us be your like creative brain. Let us think for you. You start to jog your thinking on like, oh, that would be a really good pitch for my client, or oh yeah, that's right. This is this month. Let me pitch my client for that. So it is a huge time saver. And if you're interested in learning more about the Pitch Lab, let me just link it. Whatever. But and our goal is to turn you into a pitching powerhouse, as is the name of the podcast, Pitching Powerhouse. Pitching Powerhouse. Okay, back to it. Okay, do invite journalists to coffee dates. If you can do in person, great. I think they're probably more open to it now. And in fact, they want to just get out and see people and meet people. I think in person is sort of back on if you happen to be doing local stuff. Keep it really short. Offer, tell them just 15 minutes or whatever, and meet them close to their office, maybe even in their office. Or you can do a Zoom coffee date. And if you're going to do it virtually, send over like a gift card to Starbucks, or some cold brew, like a couple cans of La Colombe, which I get at Costco. It's those, there's 3 flavors of iced lattes that automatically foam. I like it, but can you overlap the tail and the mat just a bit? It's like so cool to see the client's feedback immediately, and to know that they're happy. So my point being, if anybody's doing social media and you're developing content, instead of like doing something and then hoping the client likes it and then they have changes and you're like, oh, I have to redo this whole thing, do it in real time. It saves everyone time and they love it. So I send cold brew. Some of our members have made mugs or cups with their agency name on it, or some cute statement about PR or something from the client that they want to meet about. Try to keep it not about the client, but just about getting to know them. So we actually have a whole section in the Pitch Lab dedicated to hosting Zoom meetings. This one is about, in that section, it's all about these sort of creative Zoom events. And it's really good. We have like tons and tons and tons of creative ideas and editors' recommendations, do's and don'ts about how to throw a good Zoom event. So that'll help you. The program helps you not only craft expert pitches, but we go over in depth how to maximize your relationships with journalists and editors. Oh, so smart. Jane does DoorDash cards. Do you want to say how much you give? You can say, like, I wonder just what's an amount that like feels nice and gets their attention. Like a coffee, we know you can get a really good coffee for like 10, under 10, $5, but you're not going to send a $5 gift card if you do 10, 20. But for DoorDash, it's like a whole meal and delivery. So what do you send, like $50? Great. No other changes. Just reading the feedback. So cool, you guys, right? Jane, let me know if you're comfortable telling. 25 for coffee, 50 for a snack. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we cover all of this in the Pitch Lab, so you feel confident, you know how others are doing it. And also we hear from editors and journalists how they like to be asked, and like things they like about it and things they're like, this is annoying. So when you get together with them virtually or in person, ask what they're working on and how you can be helpful to them. What are you working on right now? How can I be of service? How can I support you? What can I do for you? So it's all about adding value, being helpful. And so the opposite, don't create one-sided relationships where you're taking and you're asking, gimme, 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 right? We know that if an editor writes about your client, it's very helpful for you. But what about this relationship can be of value and support to them? So go deeper. Try to actually get to know these professionals and form mutually beneficial relationships based on helping each other. And that starts with you helping them, obviously. So the do there is invite journalists to coffee dates, virtually or in person, try to form relationships. And the don't is do not create a relationship that's one-sided where you're just kind of like taking, helpful, value, give, and then ask for the get after you've been of service to them. Do tailor your pitches to earn respect and show yourself as trustworthy. And that's what I was talking about, Kathy, about, showing that you have a timely, relevant, strategic, targeted pitch to just that person at that publication. Not saying that it's an exclusive, maybe if it's something you really want to get a deep feature for and you offer it as an exclusive. I think exclusives are sort of fewer and far between now that news happens so fast and there's so much content online. But sometimes an exclusive, what I'm saying is what we teach in the pitch lab is how you craft strategic pitches, timely, targeted, relevant pitches. So the don't here is don't try to fit something in for a pitch that's just clearly not a good fit. So if they ask for something, sometimes they'll even say, I'm good on this area. We don't need this anymore. Or I'm only looking for XYZ. And you don't listen to that, that will annoy them. They will say, this is so annoying. I said specifically, don't send me information about XYZ because I'm already covered there. And this person sent that. You're going to annoy them. Okay, so listen to what they're asking for specifically and come up with something that is actually answering their query, that is actually giving them the information they're seeking. So simple, but some people just don't pay attention to it. Another is do follow the journalist or the editor's communication preferences. So if they like to engage on social media or maybe they want to be pitched in their DMs, like they'll put something in a story and say, send me a DM if you know someone. There's a lot of like Twitter friendly, pros that like DMs on Twitter. Jane is saying, just like we have these sites, editors have those private groups on Facebook. So Jane is telling us, because she is an editor, the owner of a beauty trade publication. So she has sort of the insight on both sides of the pitch on the receiving end. And oh my God, if we don't crack up when Jane sends us the most off base, ridiculous pitches that are lazy. Honestly, I'm going to use the word pathetic, because if I saw that I paid money and a PR pro pitched my business the way they're pitching and sending to Jane, I would be furious. I would be just furious. It is lazy, and honestly, it's pathetic. We laugh about it just because it's like, seriously, how bad? And it's PR professionals. It's shocking to me. Jane would never share like publicly, but because we have this connection. I want to understand, how do we make our community better? What are the mistakes people are making? Hi, hun, bad pitch to 50 people at once. So what groups on Facebook can we infiltrate them? Oh, you do want to see them, Chrissy. They're hilarious. But we never put anyone on blast. That's just not our style, but it's informing our, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, okay. Oh my God, my client's gonna be so happy. I just got a little nice, happy message trying to network my client with a huge, yes, beauty company. Yay. They're carefully guarded. Boo. Got to get me in, Jane. So that's awesome. Are they sharing in their, things they're looking for and other journalists are helping them? Or are they complaining about us? What's going on inside these groups, Jane? And Gail says, obviously a big news topic right now is gas prices. Literally, my brother texts me every single day. Thanks so much, Pat. I'm so glad you were here to see us. Every week, 11 a.m. Pacific, Thursdays. Gas prices, my brother sends me memes all day long. saving tips, switching to hybrid or electric vehicles, alternative transportation. Ugh, Jane says they're in there complaining about us and making fun of us. Urgh, calling it out. Yeah, so they're paying attention to the bad pros. So this is why the good ones stand out. They're obviously not going to go in and be like, wow, this amazing PR person is so professional and clutch. That's not fun or interesting. They're there to vent, but you can see that they're all noticing bad pitches. They're noticing lazy PR pros. Super funny thing. My husband, so unfortunately, because I am the one that has to schlep all of the people and all of the things. So I have like a big gas guzzling car, but my kind of rationale is like I barely drive it. So it's not that bad, but so I'm not, I work from home. So most of the time my car will just sit, it doesn't move. But I have, let's say it's 2 years old and I have like 10,000 miles on it because I drove to Utah for the summer. Anyway, so my car's a gas hog. So whenever Kevin helps me pump gas, he just has this look of disgust on his face because he has a Tesla. So he's like, ugh, gas pumps, like, ugh, and he's so like smug about it. And so somebody sent me a meme today of like this person that's just like super smug looking at the gas prices going up because they're an electric vehicle driver. And I sent it to my husband and he's like, yeah, pretty much that's me. I'm like, you're so smug. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I haven't moved my car in a week, so don't drive it too far, but okay. So, the other don't here is do not ignore their specific ask. Like I said, you don't want to give them something that they have specifically said they already are covered, they're not looking for, or they're asking specifically, specifically for something, and you're like, oh, but this is like also kind of, could fit, like you're trying to fit this thing, a round peg into a square hole, and the editor is going to go into Jane's coveted secret journalist Facebook group and talk about you. Probably not that bad, but Stephanie says, I did have a contact with the national morning show. I got her number from Cision. She asked that I send her my client's info, and she's now radio silent. What can I do? So you contacted her and spoke to her on the phone, and then you emailed her. I'm just curious if you followed up with her the way that you initially made contact. Check her social, see if she's out of town. Maybe send her a DM in social, like commenting on a recent picture, like, oh my God, so cool that you went here. I went there too. I'm so glad you're getting out to travel, something. Keep it friendly. Maybe if you emailed her, sometimes they have they put emails in spam. Ours goes to spam a lot. It really sucks, but maybe that happened. I don't know. Try to follow up the way you initially connected with her. But, if you have something also relevant and new that you can mention to her and say, oh, by the way, I sent everything you asked for, follow up with her by phone and email. Have not thought about her social media. Yeah, go there, see what she's up to, see if she's active in posting. We're not stalkers. We are investigators, and in a very friendly way. If you see her active or she's on vacation, like it could inform a little bit about what she's up to and why she's not getting back to you. Okay, I got my last 4 do's and don'ts. Do make sure your images are searchable. This is a big one. That means that your naming convention for images, if they're asking for images, don't have it be like DSC14725.jpg. Have it say like carry on luggage with the brand name, because somebody will send out a pitch for, travel needs or luggage or whatever, and they'll say, we love it, and then send it to them with some kind of naming convention that if they have to search through their email, that search will pick up your image. So sometimes they'll file it And if you don't have an easy way for them to find your images by searching for certain keywords, it'll get lost, or it'll likely get lost. So do not have random names that could make things hard to find. Instead, use good naming conventions and include the topic of the pitch in your image file names. Very easy. And when I heard that one, I was like that's just so smart. And then do make things easier by using searchable keywords in your email subject lines to make your pitch easy to find. So that can answer your question too, who asked about subjects. I can't remember, was it Gail? I don't remember. So that will give them another way to search, not just the images, but also the keywords you're using. And then don't use unnatural links or anchor text. So it's like some sort of thing that is going to help you because it's a specific link that goes where you want them to go, and then you're using the anchor text in, so it'll say like let's say it's a spammy, like breakthrough beauty device, okay? And then you anchor the word breakthrough beauty device to your client's landing page for that publication. Why are we barking? The anchor text, a lot of times people will link out a lot of anchor text. That means that the actual words itself are highlighted as a link. That's called anchor text. It tends to be scammy and kind of overly promotional. Not scammy, but spammy. And it's rooted in sort of like, this is for me. I want you to go to this link. I want you to use this link. A lot of times we cannot drive people to exactly where we want them to go. That's the journalist's preference. And they're going to go where they're getting affiliate revenue, number one, or where there's the most complete and accurate information. So try to make sure that your email and all of the copy in there is rooted in being helpful by offering them a valuable source. See this? Jane, explain why. By being a valuable source, creating an interesting story angle, and making sure they know it's just for them. Jane says a lot of editors use their inboxes as their libraries, and when they're writing a story, they'll search their email. Correct. And she says nothing gets you blackballed faster than anchor text, and they all tell each other. Tell us why that is. What is going on with you? It's seen as like self-serving, spammy. It's just like link, text. There, it's an SEO strategy. So they're hoping you copy and paste it into they're hoping the editor copies it and pastes it into their story. So now you get this great searchable keyword with the awesome anchor text connected to your link, and just look at that. And now look at this SEO value. We're not SEO firms. That's not what we do, right? So maybe Jane's writing and telling us why. Thank you for sharing all this insight. Exactly what you said. They're using their affiliates, and the backlinks are hard to take out. Yep. And it's sort of an SEO sort of play. There's always some SEO firm that's like, tell the PR firm to use anchor text. No. Tell them no. So those are my 14 ways. I'd love to hear from you guys. If they copy and paste by mistake, it goes through to their editor is not pleased. Yeah. They get what it's for, and they're not there to ensure your SEO is optimized. And they want to link where they want to link, not where you want them to link. Okay. Straight from the journalist's mouth. And they're all talking about us. So those are our 14 do's and don'ts. Crystal says, good to know. Yeah, it's, and also it's a good reminder for all of us pros that are, we have to push back on our clients that are asking for that. So you shouldn't link to your client's website or social in the pitch. You can link to the client's website as a, please visit here, and it's not anchor text. So don't say like, Sigma Beauty, and the Sigma Beauty name is actually anchor text. Just say more information can be found here, and it's clearly a link. So it's here, but it's not anchor text the word here. It's the link is visible so they can click it. It's that anchor text piece because sometimes it comes over when they copy or when they include it in the story or whatever. Yeah, Branda, that's a good question. I know my time machine won't back up. Thanks, Crystal. Got it. Okay, cool. Got it. Jen, did you land that big new client you were talking about? Oh, God, Nelson. We get on the phone with them. This is a huge company with 4 sub-brands, 3 of which are huge international established brands in our niches. Great conversation. We are like the perfect fit for them. Their budget was $10,000 for 4 brands. I was like we were on Zoom and I could see my team like trying to keep a poker face, and we were like, I'm sorry, what? Like per brand? No, for 4 brands? No, not kidding you. We were like, I was just like, why are you wasting my? You've done this enough to know that that's a freelancer. And they're like, well, the allocation doesn't have to be the same for all of the brands. And I'm like, oh, great. So there's even less of a budget for one of the brands. I was just like, oh my God, what a waste of time. It was such a letdown. But I'm looking at it like, we did the reverse psychology thing where we didn't even throw our hat in the ring. And I just said, I'm certain we would be very effective and help you achieve your goals. Bye, Chrissy. Thanks for being here. But, the budget is, I was like, this budget's BS. It's not even workable. Yeah. No, it's not how it should. I was like, this sucks. So, we gave them a capabilities deck and showed all of our case studies in the niche. It was a joke. We were so annoyed. And they were like, oh, well, that's fine because we found somebody that's willing to work with our budget, or it wasn't willing because that sounds like their budget was a negative. It was like, we found a PR pro aligned with our budget or something like that. I was just like, good luck to you. So that type of company can come back in 6 months when their expectations were very, very high, very high. I was like, okay, bye, good luck. But I'm looking at it like a positive because the client that we're texting with right now with the photo shoot is an old client that I love with all my heart. Good luck with that. I know. I should have told you guys earlier. I like totally forgot. And then I was out of town for anyway, and they pulled their stuff in house and then brought in like a relationship with an outside firm. And I don't think it's going very well. And then, yeah, I think there's a chance they could come back, but I wouldn't be able to take it if we had that other thing. So maybe it's like a positive. Because it's just like aligning things for me to have them come back, which would just be my whole heart. I would be so happy. So we'll see. Could be April, May, when their contract's up. So Stephanie asked, quick question, how do you find clients? And Nelson says Jen gets all her clients through referrals, just like me. Yes and no. So Stephanie, we have an entire process for building a pipeline inside our agency accelerator. We have 4 pillars. It's strategy, sales, service, and scale. And that sales pillar is all about finding clients, bringing them into the agency, looking for red flags. We just did that one Monday. Everybody was like, oh my God, these red flags. Like, this is, I've fallen for this. I'm like, everybody has, but now you know what to look out for. We have lead to landed. It's like a little inexpensive, like $47, no brainer. This, if you're curious, this kind of will help you, Stephanie, to like niche down and know where to look. A lot of it is about being proactive and asking for what you're looking for, but you have to know who you serve and how you serve them. Check this out if you're like wanting to generate the right kinds of clients in your business. It's a little quickie, simple. It's totally a no-brainer if you want that. But you're really stuck. Okay, check it out. The the agency accelerator, if you're like really like, I am going to grow my business and I want to crush it, that is like full business in a box. It's so good, and we go way more in depth. But this is a good like I used to call it 5 leads in 5 days, but now we call it lead to landed. So it's very good. So just check it out if you want. And listen, if you buy this and you want to buy another program, I'll credit you or whatever. I have no problem with that. So just to make it something you can just dip your toe in the water. Okay, so this is all what we teach inside the pitch lab. It's all about these foundational skills that will build on itself, and business in a box. I've been saying that for a long time, but, this is also these PR insider secrets. It's a PDF that we developed with really successful members of our community. We had our community ask questions, and then we had members of our agency accelerator and other programs answer these questions. Really good insider secrets, and it's all these kind of like secret sauce strategies. So check that out, and that's what I have for you today. Does anybody have any other questions? Stephanie, I feel like we have so much that could help you. It's almost like you don't even know all of the stuff we have that can help you. Yeah, there's just so much. So let me know if you need to be directed to a specific resource. But yeah, and grab that, the insider secrets. Anybody have anything else? Yes, thank you. Okay, cool. So I was excited because I'm trying to make a connection for my LED face mask company with a color cosmetics brand that has red carpet makeup artists. And one of my old clients, I'm not going to say the brand, but it's like a huge brand right now, $1 billion. The founder is very, very, very prominent right now. And she's the CEO of the, oh, hi, Chelsea. Stephanie, $47. It's nothing, $47. And that'll get you like, moving forward. Anyway, my former client is a co-CEO of the, one of the apparel lines of this company. And I asked her to connect me with the cosmetics, and I've been waiting a really long time, and she just messaged me and said, she said, go ahead and message her. And then she followed up with, she is tough as nails. You better have your ish buttoned up. And I'm like, ugh. Which makes me feel like we have one shot and that's it. But, so I'm not even sure how to approach it, because I'm like, I don't even know what we want. We just want to like have a relationship and get our devices to you for your artists. So cross your fingers. The accelerator and the $97 a month program. I want it all, and I want it now. Yeah, you won't. Well, there's a payment plan for the accelerator, but it's, I know it's an investment, but it's an investment in your business, and it's an investment in you. And I know for sure that they are priced very, very affordably for what you are getting. And it sounds like you know what programs we have. So hopefully you're not actually like waiting for somebody to croak. Like, that's like kind of morbid. I hope that doesn't happen. But when you're ready, or your inheritance comes from an uncle in another state you never met or something, we don't want anybody, you know what I'm saying. But reach out. We're here for you. So Asara says, should I work this first volunteer opportunity and learn from it before branching out to gain more clients? I feel like my job is a busy one, so I don't want to bite off too much, but I also want to approach this smart and build this to a point where it becomes my full-time. No, really, end of month. We're here for you, Stephanie. Awesome. Just let me know what, info you need from us. So Asara, is the volunteer thing like part of your law firm? No one died. It's property coming to my family. Okay, good. We don't want any. Okay. So Asara, like, you are a corporate attorney at a big firm, which is like full on, obviously, and you want to get into PR. And what is the volunteer opportunity? Is it for the firm? Is it in the legal realm? completely separate. Um, so when I started, I overlapped a bit, but I was not in a role like you are. I was not. I was sort of unsupervised at at my last firm. The partners were heading towards retirement. They were golfing every day, pretty much, and I was like unmanaged. They were kind of ready to shut the doors. This was like my last stop before I left. So I had a lot of time on my hands. I would actually go to court in the morning and then come back and like shut my door and work on my PR business in the afternoon and before I resigned. Um, and I had my first paying client before I resigned. I worked for free while I was still practicing. But my niches were like really clear to me right away, just because they were my interest, my areas of interest, and also where I got my very first paying client lead that I ended up working with for a really long time and then leveraged those results. So I'm not sure. I don't know how busy you are. I don't know what you're promising. Maybe post inside Profitable PR Pros and let me know, and let the community know, and everyone can weigh in. You know, we want to help you, um, figure all this out. And if you want to learn how to do PR the right way, I would maybe even just spend 2 months inside the pitch lab and go through the roadmap. I used to sell the roadmap. It was called Press Success, and it was geared towards brands and experts themselves to do their own PR. And we sold that program for, I think at one point it was $3,000. It started at like under 2,000 and then went to 2,500 and then up. It never took off like my other programs have, where I'm serving PR professionals. But we took that content, we updated it significantly, and we shifted it to be for PR professionals. So for $97 for 2 months, under $200, you get access to the whole roadmap. So you'll learn PR like current, it's, very, very current content. And then there's master classes. Oh, I forgot about, we have master classes. There's like at least a dozen of them in there on specific topics. Understanding affiliate marketing, just so much stuff. It's very robust. So that's what I would do, is like spend time really working on learning how to do PR. And then, any ideas about transitioning freelance client to retainer? Are you hourly, Gail? What kind of work are you doing for them? Are you doing regular pitching? What kind of, do you have like a consistent amount of, do you have a consistent sort of workflow for them? Are they using a similar amount of hours every month? I don't want it to be a huge leap. I would want you to position it in a way where it's almost beneficial to them, so that it's like a flat rate and you're transitioning all of your clients to retainer, and it's to their advantage because they're getting preferred pricing and they're getting access to all the opportunities that come your way in your business. So it allows you to provide better service and a team-based approach. Make it a positive. But if you're like up and down, they're going to be like, why would I pay a monthly retainer when I'm not even... Okay, so it sounds like there's some, so yeah, I would do it that way and just say, we're moving all of our clients to a retainer, and maybe you offer like an average of the monthly that you've been doing for them. And, like if it's between 1,500 and 2,500 a month, maybe you say it's going to be 2,000, and that allows them to have more consistency in their planning, for their budget allocation, and it allows you to provide a team-based approach and access to more opportunities that are coming your way. And just say it's all of your clients. That's how I would approach it. A lot of times it's hard to like shift people to a new plan when they're already part of something, because they just don't want to change. They're just like, but wait a minute, why would I pay this when I've been doing that? So you have to show them it's to their advantage. They get better service. They get a team. They get more opportunities. So why wouldn't they? you know, and it's like an average. Or you can increase it if you want, but you might lose them as a client. It's up to you. Does that help, Gail? Anybody else before I bounce? I'm trying to think of anything else exciting to report. I think that's it. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm here. If you have anything else, I'll stay on for like one more minute. I feel like I had something to tell you guys. What was I telling you? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. Oh, okay, here. Yeah, I'm very busy, Asara. I feel like you are gonna write me back. Okay. Very busy, sometimes less, sometimes more. You are so welcome, Stephanie. I am here for you. You know, when you're ready, you know, to really dive in, we have stuff. And in the meantime, there's so much stuff here, free video content, and just search. There's all kinds of stuff. So the organization is expecting around 5 hours of my time per week, but they also have no real concept of PR, and neither do I. The organization is looking for help to pitch a product that was created by a small business in one of their incubator programs. How cool. I'll grab one of your programs for sure as a guide. Come inside the pitch lab. Especially because my expertise is products. So I have to be honest, the program, I mean, it is for like everything and everyone, and our pitch angles really do. What's going on here? The pitch angles encompass like experts and trends and all of that. Oh, hi, Dob. Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Thanks to this awesome community for answering my Facebook question about bylined articles today. Isn't this community so awesome? Everybody is so helpful, so cool. It's insane. I like can't even. I went to my PO box and I got a Christmas card that I hadn't even seen. It's now March, and just the loveliest note from Kaylin of Hourglass Media, and Kaylin Staton. What a doll. Best community ever. But what I was going to say, Asara, jump into the pitch lab. And if you really want to get into PR and this is like your thing you're going to do, you may want to consider the annual, because what I will throw in for you if you do that is a media contacts database that we have. So our database is peer curated, hard to say, but our community members are giving us their media contacts, the ones that are responsive, the ones that they have worked with. They're PR agency friendly, and it's updated all the time because we are like boots on the ground. So if an editor moves, we're going to know about it. If someone's on maternity leave, we update it with their temporary go-to. So it really helps to have a contacts database, and this one is affordable. But if you do the pitch lab for a year, it's like $970 for the year. I know it's an investment, but like I promise you, it's worthwhile. And then you get the database. Or if you don't get it automatically, just tell me and we'll add it to your account. So that's only available for people on the annual, sort of like pay a year up front, and then it renews. But yeah, so the pitch lab is super, super excellent. We have people joining every day. It's really cool. We're running ads to it, and people are finding us. It's just awesome. So yeah. I think 5 hours per week is doable. Great. This is also helpful. The fear is that I get great contacts as I'm still learning, and you make mistakes with amazing contacts versus less amazing contacts. You'll be fine. I promise you. If you're doing corporate law at a big firm, I know you have what it takes and then some. And it's interesting, Asara, listen to that podcast, the Lawyers Escape Pod. But there's a lot of skills and a lot of, storytelling and positioning, aligning facts that translate from law to PR. It seems really different, but it's also, your skills will come in handy. So anyway, let us know how we can help you. Well, I'm going to bounce. This is a long one today, guys. Sorry about that. But thank you so, so much for being here. Again, on my birthday on Tuesday, what day is it? Thursday. So 2 days ago, I was just feeling grateful the whole day. And I feel like as I get older, that's like the most important thing. I said to my husband, I'm grateful for my family's good health. I'm grateful, for all of the things that are just like going on in an average day, especially with everything going on in the world right now, just to like wake up and feel loved and feel safe and all of that, and have a business I love, and to be able to connect with people all over the world. Um, I spent a whole part of my day just sharing gratitude. Thank you, Stephanie, on Instagram. I was very schmoopy, very sappy. Yes, I did. You know what? I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to go in and like acknowledge, which is thank you for reminding me, Nelson. I did, and I saw your very lovely note, Nelson. I so appreciate it. But yeah, anyway, that was Tuesday, and I was like, I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. And I was doing voice memos, and I sounded so schmoopy. So, anyone who got one of those, thanks for letting me be grateful. Anyway, thanks for being here. I will see you guys next week. Have a good one, and wish me luck on connecting with this huge beauty brand. I hope we can make it happen. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care.